My weekly graphic novel classes have ended for the school year, and let's talk about the books that were the kids' favorites and least favorites. Hi, I'm Mary Wilson. I teach a weekly graphic novel book club on Outschool for 8 to 10-year-olds and another one for 11 to 13-year-olds. And we just finished our school year after reading a book every week during the school year, which means I have huge stacks of books in front of me to share. And at the end of the year, I asked the kids to vote on their favorite and their least favorite. And I tallied it all together, and I thought I would share what their favorites and their least favorites were for each age group. But first, I want to show you all the books that we read. All right, my 8 to 10-year-olds and 11 to 14-year-olds read the same graphic novel unless I tell you differently. Occasionally, like 3 or 4 times during the year, I will pick a book that is particularly young or particularly old, and I'll divide the two groups. All right, so we started with Camp by Kayla Miller. That is definitely a favorite series for many. It was not necessarily a favorite in our winners. Garlic and the Vampire. Woo! I'm pulling my hair as I'm pulling the books. All right, Tristan Strong punches the hole in the sky. Freestyle. Legend of Brightblade. Hoops. Okay, the next pile. Monster Friends. Oh, and when the little ones read Monster Friends in 8 to 10, the older kids read The Hobbit. Long Distance. Spy School. Speak Up. And then when the 8 to 10-year-olds read Bird and Squirrel, the middle schoolers, the 11 to 14-year-olds, read George Takei's memoir, which is graphic. They called us enemy. A Christmas Carol. All right, and then once again, I divided the groups. The 8 to 10-year-olds read the first 2 books in the Narwhal and Jelly series, while the 11 to 14-year-olds read Hooky. Next, we had The Secret Garden. And then the next week, we compared it to a modern retelling, The Secret Garden on 81st Street. Okay, we always do a Nathan Hale. This year we did the new one, Above the Trenches, about the World War I fighters in the air. Guts. And then here's another time I split them up. The middle schoolers did Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, while the younger group did Diana, Princess of the Amazons. And yes, all these Post-it notes are me marking graphics that we talk about in graphic novel class during our discussion. All right, Miss 𝐂𝐤𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐜 Invisible, Ride On. It's a lot of books, right? This is pretty impressive. Map Makers and the Lost Magic. Amulet. This is book 1 in a series of many. Santiago. This was a fun one. And Swim Team. I mean, I say this is a fun one, like they're all fun ones. And then we ended the year with graphic short stories in this Explorer series. This is book 2, The Lost Islands. This is a really fun series. It's unique because it's short stories. And last year we did the first one, which is Mystery Boxes, and then we did Lost Islands this year. You do not have to read them in order. All right, let's start with the 8 to 10-year-olds. They're voted their least favorite, though I have to tell you, there are, I'll show you the document, one of them. This is the 8 to 10-year-old. There are a lot of books, a lot of books. So you can see the votes are really spread, okay? So my least favorite, I think these each got 3 votes, and those were, let me pull the least favorite out here. Christmas Carol and Tristan Strong. These got the least favorite. This was probably a little old for the 8 to 10-year-old group looking back, and they just did not like this graphic version of Tristan Strong punches a hole in the sky. It was hard for them to understand. It didn't quite make sense, and it was a little dark. All right, They had a three-way tie for their favorites, and that is a tie between Monster Friends, so adorable, Speak Up, which was really fun. This girl has autism and she's kind of embarrassed in front of people to speak up, but she has a YouTube character that has become a star. And the kids in school don't know that this YouTube star that they love is the same girl. And it was a really fun one. And then also Spy School. So it was a three-way tie for these very different and very fun graphic novels. All right, let's talk about the 11 to 14-year-olds. This was interesting to me. And once again, the votes were really spread out because you saw all the books that we read. Their least favorite was a three-way tie between Amulet, which I was really surprised. This is a very popular series and it's a little dark. And again, I think each of these also only got 3 votes, so it wasn't like a ton of people didn't like it, but if you're looking at the least favorites, this is the one. Also, the book Guts, there's puking, and I don't think they liked the graphics, some of them. And Hooky, this was another one. People just thought that it was a little long, kind of drawn out, that kind of thing. For their favorites, so in second place, they also had a 3-way tie, but they had a clear winner though after that. The 3-way tie for second place was Above the Trenches. And again, each of these only got 3 votes also. Swim Team and Santiago. So they were the winners, but again, the margins are very slim when you're reading like 27 books. But their clear winner with, I think, 6 or 7 votes, ironically, Sookie, which also made it a tie for the least favorite. So that was kind of fun to see in the class because we often discuss how one person's favorite book might be one that doesn't appeal to somebody else. And that's why a book club is great because it kind of stretches us. It gets us to read things outside of our comfort zone and hear from the people who maybe really enjoyed it. So we can maybe better understand what someone might love about that book. All right, graphic novel book club always ends at the end of April, and I am getting ready, reading a lot of graphic novels right now. As you can see, all the graphic novels back here for another year of weekly graphic novel book club, and I can't wait. Put some of these on your summer reading list and have some fun.